Hey guys, it's Dave with My Freedom Smokes. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Lost Vape THERION DNA75C or the DNA75 color. Same basic outlay of the original THERIONs we've known, the DNA75s, the DNA133s, the 166s. All the same looks, you know, you got your nice little doors, come different leathers, there's nice carbon fiber on this one, the wood paneling. This one comes with a new chip from Evolv, the DNA75C. So the front actually looks a little different. Instead of a little slim little screen on there and the 2 buttons for your controls and your power button, this one now has 3 buttons as well as your power button. What a 3rd button is kind of a menu or selector type button, and then you got your plus and minus buttons on either side of that. The screen has now been inverted. Instead of reading it from side to side, you read it this way as a vertical screen. It's a full color screen. You can put in wallpapers and stuff like that on the background instead of just having a blank background, which I'm using a blank one right now. I didn't go in and configure that, which you can do that through e-scribe. You can actually design in almost like a Microsoft Paint type build area for building different screens and stuff for this, or you can always import your favorite photos. Some of the things that you before had to do on e-scribe, you can actually do through the device now. Some of the ways you can change some of your settings. But like I said, this little selector button is really neat and helps you do a lot of stuff on here, as you can kind of scroll through with your up and downs, and it's just highlighting. You get your wire type, which is nichrome. That's actually like the profiles in the original DNA devices. If you go down to where it says wattage, you click that center button. Now when you hit up or down, you're actually adjusting your wattage from 1 watt up to 75 watts. And then you hit the select button again, it goes back to the blue, which that's just default. I mean, you can actually change that color. Go into settings, you can go into your atomizer. From here you can actually see your resistance, the power you got, the wire type, and you can actually force it to measure your resistance for in case you had like a temperature control coil or something you wanted to measure that resistance. Let's back out of that real quick. They got puff info. It actually gives you a little graph that you can actually see just the way it's acting throughout your vapes, showing I've had 89 puffs, average of 3.26 seconds, and an average of 74.8 watts, even though I got it set at 75 watts. And it's just a nice little graph, kind of give you a little idea, kind of like the diagnostic scan you could do through e-scribe, kind of give you a little brief overlay of all that. And I also got a true diagnostic screen that shows the power, the temperature, ohms, volts, amps. Let's see, when you fire that, you can actually watch everything change in real time, which is cool, instead of having to be plugged up to your e-scribe to see all that information. And then they got system on the settings, which the system allows you to change the brightness of the screen. You can change your time, you can change the date, so you do get time and date on here, which is cool. You can change the units of your temperature measurement between Fahrenheit and Celsius. And I've been running pretty low, about 1/3 of the way up on the brightness, and getting pretty good battery life out of it. But to go through your profiles, you just would highlight where it says nichrome there at the top, hit your selector button, and then when you hit up or down, it goes through. There's canthal, watts, nickel 200, titanium, stainless steel 316, stainless steel 430, and then I can't remember what that one is, the nifethol 30. It's just another wire type. But I'm gonna set it back to canthal there. All right, let's bump it back to 75 watts real quick. Alright, and it does go pretty quick, but I always hate the decimal points on adjusting. I need to actually go into e-scribe and turn that off. I like going by whole numbers on my watts. I don't need necessarily 74.3, you know, 75 even, 74 even. I don't really need all the in-between. Some people do like that though. So I got it at 75 watts. And now that I've adjusted that, it actually is asking me, is it the same coil? You can tell it yes, no, use old settings, measure again. I'm just going to hit yes, it's the same coil. All right, now it's ready to power. That's 75 watts on a 0.14 fused Clapton coil. That's almost instant power on there. Just go ahead and re-wet it a little bit. Some of the cool features that's on the DNA75C is, you know, the original one, you can set your, you know, your fire unlock buttons. You tap your button 5 times rapidly, tap it 3 times rapidly, and it was always the fire button. This we can actually change it to be any of the other buttons available. So let's say instead of 5 clicks of this button to unlock it, you can have 2 of these, 1 of these, and then 1 of each of those, and have 5 clicks, but almost make it like a passcode that way. Somebody, a kid can't pick up your device and get into it, or maybe if it's in your pocket, where there's a chance of that getting hit multiple times, unlocking in your pocket, you can set up different combination of different buttons to hit to allow it to unlock that way, which is kind of cool. I mean, I've had devices that have unlocked in my pocket before, just because it kind of might be close, walking, you know, bump the button a couple times, go to pull it out and it's unlocked. By setting that in there, it shouldn't happen because it has to be that sequence. So I mean, if you had like fire up, down, select, fire, I mean, that's the only way you're going to be able to get it unlocked to fire is when it does that. And now it does have a standby too, so if it's sitting for a set amount of time, it'll actually lock it down and you have to punch your code back in to get back into it, which again is cool. You set your devices down, you may forget to lock it. You don't want your kid coming along picking up and be able to mess around with your vape. So that's another neat setting on the DNA75C. But yeah, it's like I said, same great look and feel of the THERION DNA75. Batteries are in a parallel configurement, so it does have nice long battery life. Overall, I've been pleased with the DNA75C edition of the Lost Vape THERION. We have a couple more vapes real quick. All right. If you have any questions about DNA75C or the Lost Vape THERION DNA75C, please leave them in the comments below. As always, this is David with My Freedom Smokes, and thank you for vaping.